Hey everybody, how are you? I think next week, actually, I think I'm gonna upload a video. I should be doing this before, I realized, giving you like a little lecture before the assignment is due rather than after as a critique. You know, I don't know, I wanted to see what you would do on your own. So, yeah, I think I'm going to make this a required watch, is what I'm going to do. Because there's a lot of things happening that I think I could help. Okay, so let me get myself out of the way here. We're going to start with Michaela, and I'm in bridge. And here's Michaela's, her contact sheet. And this guy has just got a load of personality, really. I mean, yes, he looks pissed off, but I think that is kind of great. This is my favorite picture. I love that gesture with his arm. That's just, I've had it. I think he was very kind and patient, and he tried different things. So, I mean, I applaud him for that. But yeah, that's a cool picture right there. I didn't really look at that one. That one's also kind of good too. I like the information in the background, and I think I can help you recover some highlights here if you send me a raw file, and we can try and bring back some of the detail in the sky so there's some color there. But I love it. I think these two are, I don't know which one I like better. It's a toughie. I think this one, yeah. I kind of have to play with it, get a feel for it, get to know it. It's like hearing a new song, how you never like it the first time you hear it. Or if you don't, maybe you do, I don't know. So first I was thinking it was this guy that you wanted to change the skin tone, but I realized that it's our young lady here. So I'm going to open her up in Photoshop, and I'll show you a few tricks. Rest of you might like these tricks as well if you're working with portraits. So there's a little thing down here at the bottom that is adjustments. So create a new fill or adjustment layer. So if you click on that, there's all these different things you can play with, but we're going to do selective color, so we can just enhance what we want to enhance, dehance what we want to see less of. So you said you wanted to fix her skin tone, so here's yellow. So this is CMYK, which is the true primary colors that you learned up in school, in elementary school. Okay, so we're going to take the yellow down a little bit. And you see the first thing that starts to happen is her skin starts to look more like skin. And I really like the soft hair. You were worried about fading the hair. And then we can try increasing magenta a little bit, to bring some color to her cheeks and her lips. Cyan, kind of hard with this picture because of all the green. So you can't really do it overall, but I'll show you another trick there too. But black, I mean, it really depends if you want to go for a stronger black or if you want to bring detail black back into the black. So, and you have to make sure relative is clicked. It should come up that way for you. Okay, so yeah, I think she looks better, and it's really subtle, so she doesn't look different, and we still have that cool feeling in the background. Image adjustments. Sometimes this auto color will work, and sometimes that helps. I honestly really like, oh shoot, let me pull that back up. So you can even check to see if you like it better before or after. So you click on the little eye, and her skin, it does look a little less yellow. I think she's got some pink back. See, she's got some life in her now. All right. Oh, I was going to show you how to select the subject. Okay, so you see, I used to always call these to the kids, I would call them the marching ants. Once the marching ants are around your subject, you know it's selected. Sometimes you got to adjust it a little bit though. I can't remember how to do that though. Usually there's like a plus or minus. They keep changing Photoshop on me. And then I gotta learn a new one. And it's always different. Okay, so select. Yeah, I wanted to change this, but it's not working. So usually there's a little plus or minus. I'm getting frustrated, you can tell. Okay, so once the girl is selected, if you want to work on the background, you can go to inverse. And you can do things to the background instead of the girl. So I just wanted to show you that because I know that that's going to come up again. And you can use your image adjustments, you can use all of your adjustments over here, and just experiment. Just try everything. You know, maybe you're going to come up with something artsy out of just playing. Like one that the kids that high school kids, always really liked is curves. Ooh, there's selective color under there. Let's see, where's curves? Here's curves. And you can play with moving this little slider thing. Isn't that fun? You know, and notice that, see how I've only selected the background. Got this problem right here, but I'm going to figure that out and I'll get that to you ASAP. Okay, so I hope you got some ideas there. I'm not going to save that. And we're going to go down. And this was your other problem child, that you wanted to see how to make those flowers pop. So what I would do is I would go to Hue Saturation. And you can do the same thing with Hue Saturation that we did with Selective Color. You can pick what colors you want to bring out and what colors you don't want to bring out. Okay, so let's bring out the yellows a little bit. And those stems are really yellow-green, so this might be too much. I don't know, I think that's okay. Just a little minimum. And then let's try the reds, because we're going for orange here, right? Actually, I think that's kind of beautifully bringing out these browns. Oh, that's cool. And honestly, I really love the composition of this picture. It's got an interesting line going through it that my eyes want to follow. But you could even try cropping it. You know, because this is like the most interesting part, right? And then you got to decide, oh, I got a little cut off head here on the flower. Do I want to get rid of that part and make this little cluster the star? Yeah, I kind of like that. But, you know, it's your baby. So I'm not going to do anything that you wouldn't do. But I do like that. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and undo. And so hopefully that helped. And then again, if you want to select certain areas, the easiest way to do it is in RAW, Camera Raw. So if you want to send me some RAW files, I can do a little personal, private, saved everything. A little personal, private video for you. Okay. All right. So next was who was next? I want to say Michael. Might not be right. Okay, Michael. I am just like thrilled with what you've done here. It's so fun. And I was looking down through your pictures, and there's so many neat things happening here. When you're doing things like this, the main goal is to make something that fools the eye. So you want it to be believable. You don't want there to be any evidence of, oh, something tricky going on, right? So, that's so funny. But the background kind of blows it for me a little. If there were nothing but sky in the background, then I might think that this is a life-size wooden man, even though I know it's a mannequin. I love the contrast in this one. That is beautiful. The red and the green. Great, great color story. And this is kind of funny. He's like, I don't know. He's got to be depressed. He's turned away. He's half hiding. So I'm starting to see stories. Now this one, when I saw it smaller, I thought it was too plain, but you know what? I love it because of these shadows. I am a huge sucker for shadows. Shadows, reflections, all of that. And this is cute too. This is so funny that he's extending outside the frame. To me, that's great thinking. And I love the color contrast here too. This one's a little darker, but I have a suggestion. I don't know if you consider this, but I kind of want to see him with his knees up and his arms around his knees, like, really down in the dumps, because that's like the feeling that I'm getting. This is, again, such gorgeous saturation, and the colors are so bright. I love it. I love how this little fern is lit up here. The fence kind of bothers me a little bit. Like how it's going right through his head. That distracts me a little. And I think this one is my favorite. It's just really believable. It's like we're in a Hobbit's world or something. And I love the colors. Now here, where the colors are a little dull. So I wonder if you reduce the saturation. Maybe you're not a fan of the strong contrast and the bright colors. And then here we have your cool picture from last week. No, Unit 7. That wasn't last week. And then you could use the idea that I was talking about with Michaela. Usually when I'm doing anything, I click on that lock, so it just allows me to do anything I want. And we can select the subject, and then we'll just go right to the background. Select inverse. So what I want to do here is kind of get rid of that you can see the backdrop cloth. So we could do that with a filter. Let's see, we can blur it. I mean, we could, no, I don't like that. It's too weird. Yeah, you know what I think I want to do? I think I just want to paint it black. So I'm going to go to my little eyedropper tool, and I like this black area here. It's got a little bit of red to it, which goes with the whole color scheme. And then I got to come down here and find my my lovely paint bucket tool. So see, now I've got the little paint bucket, and here's my color. Okay, so I just have to click on it until I get the whole thing, because it's hard, it's having a hard time detecting. What are you trying to do, lady? Or whoever you are. So we just got to play with that a little bit. And if it's doing things like this, it's kind of much easier to use the paintbrush tool. And here it is. And it's already selected to the color that I want, so I can just go ahead and paint out those areas. I was just worried about getting close to it, you know, so that's where selecting the subject comes in really handy. And you want to be really careful. You can make your brush smaller by clicking left bracket, and that's so handy. So if I wanted to get in here and be really picky, I could Command plus to get way in there. So you can get way in there, and so you don't have this little these little artifacts that are giving it away what we're trying to do here, because we want it to be believable, right? And I noticed something going on. Oh, our little guy is headless now. We'd have to bring that in. But this I can get rid of. And I've got to find how to add or subtract parts of the selection for you. So I'll post that as soon as I get it done. So irritating. Used to be right up here. Plus, minus, whatever. Okay, so Command minus, we can go back out and see how we like it so far. We can select, deselect, and see, now we don't have any distractions. So, and I love that he's like in the darkness. You know, he's like hiding. Maybe he had too much wine. That makes it a funny story. Okay, so I'm not going to save that. Let's just go back to Bridge. Okay, so you heard the ones that I like. Your edits, though, I think you're fading your contrast a little bit too much. So, or maybe those are the ones that you didn't edit, now looking at your contact sheet. So I think you did edit in the contrast, so super smart, perfect. Nice work. Okay, now we're going to go, stop it. We're going to go to, I want to say, Caden is next. Okay, so Caden, what a great idea. And I find it interesting that your contact sheet is all in black and white. So I'm guessing you just did that to, you know, I don't know, see the difference. For you as well, I would like to see the raw image, especially this one. Because I feel like if we bring him back in a little bit, it's going to make the photo more interesting, because he's really in the dark and the flower and the hand is like picking up the flash. And so it's actually kind of surreal. And I like that there's little droplets on the flower. So it's kind of actually really cool. I like the lighting. I like the blurred background. Yeah, I changed my mind. This is great. This is really, really great. I love it. I think it's so smart. I like what's happening in the background, how there's this big camper and their house, and you know, this is just great thinking. And this, of course, is adorable. And some other things I like about it photography-wise, I like the little that little light edge that you got from this, you know, this, whatever you call that, lighted rope. That is really interesting. And do you see how the red color is reflecting on his skin a little bit? That's interesting as well. Yeah, that's really cute. And who's not going to like a picture of a guy with his dog? You know? It's a given. So, like, if you were offering portraits to your potential customers, then these are great examples. So, yeah, I think that's awesome. Well done. Okay, now let's go to Dylan. Dylan, I'm a little concerned about this because I feel like I know what your idea is. I know you want to go landscape, but if you look at these, all of this detail here, I know that these are from last July, so not during the class. So I was a little concerned about that because that, you know, that doesn't really count. We've got to have current pictures each week. If you were showing me these and telling me, you know, just a few of them, that this is the kind of idea you're going for, well, I hope you're near the ocean. Because this, it says Denver, which I didn't know there was a beach in Denver. But, yeah. Obviously, I don't think you live on the coast, so... I mean, you live more in like this type of area, and I have seen this picture before. So I don't see anything new. I mean, perhaps this is new, but I can't tell because everything else is not. This is a great picture. I really like it. It's got reflections. I feel like there's some things we could do to enhance the color and maybe the contrast. So let's try that. So, I mean, what are we doing here? Are we going master, which means everything? Get saturated. So there, just like that, that unit we did about bridge, and the guy was saying, you know, these are for a calendar, so I want the images to really pop. So it's okay to go a little bit unrealistic when you want that look, and you can increase the contrast, which means our darks are darker, our lights are lighter. We see a difference in the colors in the water, and that's kind of beautiful. So just suggestions, and I hope you get some use out of that. Alright, back to bridge. Here, oops, I keep hitting it twice. Let's go to Kaverion. Okay, so Kaverion, I gotta tell you, when I look at your pictures, I see you turning towards something that's around you. You know, here's this, and here's this, here's this. And this is kind of cool, and I think you did select your subject here and blur the background because I see the little artifacts. You see, there's, so you could fix that up pretty easily. In fact, I'll just show you how to do that right now. Okay, so, let's see. We could do this a number of ways, actually. We could, ooh, look at that. See, those are the kind of things that people will look at it and go, oh, okay, I can see, oh, that you did something here. You know what I mean? So you want your pictures to be kind of pristine, I guess you would call it. We can do the blur tool and see if that's going to be enough. Nope. So I'm going to step back, undo, and this time I'm going to try clone stamp. Okay, so obviously I need to make my brush smaller because it's really big. And I just hit my left bracket to make it smaller, right bracket to make it bigger, and on my keyboard. And let's see, what do I want this brush to look like? Do I want it to be a soft edge? Do I want it to be a hard edge? I think I want it to be a hard edge because you've got pretty hard edge around here. And you can change the size there as well, but it just... Okay, so to use the clone stamp, you've got to go to the area that you want to copy kind of that pattern, and you hit Option, click. And now we can, it's almost like a pattern paintbrush. So that actually works pretty good. I don't know why it's still soft. Oh, I put the hardness all the way down. Okay, I'm gonna boo hiss. Oh, my Photoshop. Okay, so now it's hard. Let's edit and go back. Get rid of that clone stamp. Now we've got a hard edge brush. So of course we have to be careful. And we could select our subject, right? And then select the background. And first of all, Option click to get your brush filled with pattern. And it wants to think that there is part of the subject, because you know it's right next to it. So let's go up here. Option click. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's try healing brush. So you know there's like a million ways to do everything in Photoshop. It's so true. I'm going to pick up some more color. It looks like I ran out. So that part looks pretty believable. If you want to blur it out more, you can go to your blur tool and just kind of fade it. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I do have to find out, so I can change my strength and make it really strong. I do want to fade out this little edge here. In fact, I might even want to smudge it. See where smudge is now. I thought it was, maybe it's down here? I don't know. I moved my smudger. Well, it's in here somewhere. Let's look. Let's look for smudge. Aha! There it is. So if you're looking for a tool, that help is great. So I'm going to make my brush bigger. And I can try and smudge this a little bit. And then I can fade it. So it was right there where I thought it was going to be. Is that crazy? Now I need my blur tool back. Oh my gosh, so I have to do that now? Oh, Photoshop, you're getting too efficient. There. So now I fixed that. And then, like I said, I'll get that plus and minus tool video out to you really quick. Alright, So I hope that helped. And let's take a look at my favorite of your pictures. So here again we've got, get rid of that magnifier. Look at this, look at this, look at this. So you're like you're turning toward it. This too. You know, here at least you tried to put a composition together, and I think this is kind of interesting. This is my favorite. This tree is like some kind of character, you know? Like this is the mouth. You guys are too old for Sesame Street, but they used to have these puppets that were aliens, and their mouth would move back and forth. And they would come in and try and figure out what things were. Hilarious. Sesame Street alien puppets. I swear, look it up. Look up telephone. Sesame Street alien puppets telephone. You'll crack up. And so, so this we could do a little tweaking with. You know, we could play with the contrast, increase it. And you know, you see that even brightens up the colors a little bit. Isn't it great? And so the darks get darker, the lights get a little lighter. And if you could do a raw file of this image, I could show you how to recover that sky color. So anyway, I hope this all helped. And I'm going to send you guys a message that is required watching this week. And sorry that I have to do that. I feel like just a couple of us, maybe just one of us, is not paying attention to feedback. And so the same thing keeps happening. So anyway, I hope that was fun for y'all. And like I said, I'm going to post some videos. I'll post them in announcements. Okay? And you can always ask Google if you're like hesitant to ask your teacher, you know, which I love when you ask me questions. This is my favorite thing to do. Well, teach, but photography. So yeah, ask, and I will help. But Google is a great friend to have. Okay, talk to y'all later.